What's happening, people? Welcome back to another episode of Red Divided. Myself, Tommy.
You got Ade here.
You got your boy Ham, aka KDB.
KDB.
The legend.
The legend. We're gonna touch on him today, actually, because I've got his name down as part of like the points that we need to touch on today. Have you boys been? We've been away for like a while, right? Has it been 3 weeks?
It's been a minute.
2 weeks off, yeah. 2 weeks
2
off.
weeks off. Obviously last week, first week was because of international. Second week was because it's Eid. Eid Mubarak to all our Muslim brothers and sisters. We hope you all had a lovely Eid. I'm sure you did, Ham.
Yeah, no, it was good, man.
Yeah, we all did, and pray Allah accept all our fasts and all our du'as during Ramadan. Amen. Amen.
Free Palestine.
And I was praying for Man United throughout the whole of Ramadan. Serious prayers.
Must have been sweating.
Yeah, praying for United. But yeah, look, we're back, man. We're back. I'm not sure whether there is a lot to cover. There's no point going back in place in regards to like England and all of that. Let's just leave that. We'll touch on that on another day.
No, I'm touching on that. You guys can leave that. I'm touching on that.
Okay. Oh, you want to? What?
Of course I'm touching on that.
What particularly though?
Well, my boy scored.
These boys scored.
My boy scored.
Of course.
Let's talk about shit, Man United. Let's talk about that.
Don't forget, we are sponsored by Talks Ains the perfume. Go on his website, www.talksains.co.uk. Use our promo code to get 10% off. Red Divided in all caps. At the beginning of the season, we did say that we're giving away free Talks Ains perfume. Whoever wins our Red Divided league. I think that's pretty much done.
I think we should put the league table here. So people can see how embarrassing we are compared to where Jude.
Yeah, I think Jude has run away with that. Yeah. So I'll reach out to him. We can wait until the end of the season, but there's no point.
There's no point. Early payout.
Yeah, unless Fan wants to catch him. Do you think he can still do
Yeah, I got plans to. It's only like 100 and 250 points.
250.
Yeah.
Just about that.
So unless we can still catch him. We do have something else. Added, what is that? That another tournament that we're running.
Yeah, so we were gonna do a prize, a random draw. Basically, gonna be a PlayStation 5 or the equivalent, monetary equivalent. That was if we reach 2,500 followers. Subscribers. But also, if we reach 1,000, we will consider it. But the target's 2,500. And if we get there, we will do a random draw for a PS5 or the equivalent of a PlayStation 5 for the lucky winner.
Cool. So if you're not already subscribing, if you're watching this, please make sure you subscribe and you share this with your friends and family.
Your parents to subscribe, your mum. Everyone.
To be honest, my mum started watching this. She's probably going to watch this one.
Is it?
Yeah, she came across it the other day.
Yeah.
So
my missus' dad came across it as well.
Yeah.
Busy.
Yeah,
And then guess what? The one that he watched as well, I was swearing.
So don't be swearing. Before my mum called you Adi, Ahmed. So you are swearing on.
It's passion, mummy. It's passion.
So yeah, my mom started watching it as well. So yeah, look, get your friends or family, everyone to subscribe. So if you want to win the PS4, the money equivalent to the PS5. So where should we begin this week? We might as well just go straight into your boy then, Ham, really, because obviously we've been off because of international. What's your thought on like Thomas Tuchel's team and obviously Miles with Skelly? I'm happy for him. His mum, his grandma was there. Was it, how long was it? Within 5-10 minutes? How long was it?
It weren't long still.
First 20 minutes,
Yeah,
definitely. I think like 17th minute he scored.
Scoring like a goal in your debut. Like that's what dreams are made of, really. There's nothing. I think we spoke about this already, saying at the beginning of the season. I don't think he would have thought just to get on the Arsenal bench would have been enough for him, like as like a target.
Yeah, 100%.
Like at the beginning of the season, but to be playing regular football for Arsenal and Arsenal competing for the league, playing in the top games in the league as well against Man City, against Man United, wherever it is, and then to get your England call up and then score. It's like, yeah, I'm sure his mum is proud of him. I watch there's a podcast that his mum goes on quite often actually, because she's his agent.
Yeah.
And she talks a lot about him. She just like down to earth. Like I really like his mum as well, to be honest. So but yeah, what's your thoughts on your boy?
No, just in terms of just like from an Arsenal point of view and as an Arsenal fan, just nothing but proud, like adulation for him, and super, super, super well deserved off the back of the performances that he's had this season. And the left back position is a position in England where it's not been locked down by anyone. And our best left back, like player for player profile and whatnot, is Luke Shaw, but his injury record is ravaged in it throughout the season. So everyone's gone in there and everyone's had a position. Everyone's played there. Tyreek Mitchell's played there from Palace and whatnot. Everyone's gone and had a look at them. Yeah. Gareth's had a look at everyone. And no one's really nailed it. I mean, we played Kieran Trippier out of position to go do a job out there and so on and so forth. So it's a position that's vacant and available, and obviously Arteta putting him in that position this season as well would have easily had, whoever got the England job would have had eyes on watching Miles anyway, because he's an English player coming through and he's playing at left back. But I just thought it was a match made in heaven, the fact that Thomas Tuchel's the manager and Miles plays left back the way he plays left back. So he's a midfielder going back there, and Tuchel being the way how he plays, and you see how his team's going to be progressive and expansive on the ball and whatnot. And Miles is super comfortable. So him making that step up from Arsenal to international level wouldn't have been for me like, oh my God, is he going to be able to cut it and whatnot? Do you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I think if you're playing for one of the top teams anyway, a young talent coming through, you should be able to make that step up. So in regards to just that game in isolation, I thought he was superb. I thought he had a fantastic game. I thought he looked super comfortable out there with the boys. He didn't look out of place playing with other top players like Jude and Harry and whatnot. He looked fine playing with them. Beautiful run, beautiful ball by Jude, and then him slotting it away was just how I expect him to slot it away as a comfortable midfield player. So I thought overall, his performance was brilliant. I thought he done himself. He was a credit to himself, credit to his family, credit to us. And then a beautiful point that Thomas Tuchel made after, because he kind of answered Ade's question. Because remember you asked, but if he ends up as a midfielder, does that kind of scupper his England chances and whatnot? And they asked Thomas about his position, and he goes, I think his best position is where he plays for Arsenal now. On the left, coming in as a 6-6 with Rice or whoever plays, or Thomas Partey. And that's where I think his best position is, isn't it? So it still doesn't answer the question in totality, because I do think he will end up as a midfielder. I don't think he will be a Zinchenko, where his career will be limited to always going to be a left back. I think Miles is too good for that, innit? So it will be interesting to see what happens then. But for now, I just think just take each day as it comes. He's been brilliant for us. Like the red cards, but in terms of performances, I don't think he's put a foot wrong. The red cards and whatnot is blighted. He needs
to work on that,
Yeah, but in terms of performances, I think he's been brilliant. And we don't have that many positives for our season this season in terms of, because we're not going to do anything. But him coming through and Ethan coming through, those have been the highlights of our season. So him getting his England debut, scoring in his England debut was just a cherry on the cake for him. And I just hope he performs well in these Real Madrid games as well, where other people that haven't seen him get to watch him as well.
So Real Madrid can just come and snap him up.
No, Real Madrid ain't snapping none of my players anytime soon. So, but yes, I hope he has a good game in both legs and whatnot. And just on that big stage, quarterfinal, Champions League against Real Madrid, he's probably going to be coming up against Rodrigo and whatnot. And I hope he acquits himself very well. And good luck to him, man. But yeah, and I was just super, super, super proud for him, his mom and his grandma who was in the stadium, and the camera panned to them as well. Yeah, and you could just tell that was a super, super, super happy man. He still lives at home as well, so I just imagine how the family would have got around him after that.
No, it must be a proud moment for them. And in terms of like the mistakes, the red cards, I remember when Fergie used to play our centre backs right back, left back, wherever it is. Was it Smallings and Jones and all them PK? I always think if they're not making the mistake, then it's a problem, because the likelihood is they're going to go and end up making the mistake once they start playing regularly. So it's fine him making those type of mistakes now, because if he's not, then the likelihood is going to make those mistakes in an important game moving forward. So it would be nice for him to get all those type of mistakes out of his system now, and especially when they play in the central midfield as well. It's more than important for him to look after the ball if that's the position he does end up going back into. So I wouldn't think too much for him. I'm hoping he's not, as a player, thinking too much about those mistakes. He just needs to move past it, because it's gonna happen. It's happened. Even players that are more experienced than it's happened to them. So if he just and for a young player, you expect it to happen, and if it doesn't happen, it's more concerning, because going down the line, he might end up making those mistakes when you wouldn't want it. So first season, make all the mistakes you want, get out of your system, and just move on from it.
Yeah, and last point in that, what's being asked of him where he's playing isn't asked of many other left backs in the league. So Arteta knows what comes with a high risk, high reward, innit? So he knows what comes with that is There's a possibility he might get caught on the ball. He might be last man. He might give it away and whatnot. But at 18, I give you all the information and all the tools and resources to you figure out on the pitch. And you make the mistakes, I'm still going to play you and I'm still going to pat you on the back because you're still doing what I asked you to do and whatnot. And then the red cards, I only think, because I was thinking right now, I think it's just the West Ham one that was kind of his fault. Because the Wolves one was rescinded.
Yeah, that one.
And then was there, and then he got away with the one in Champions League where he got a yellow.
They took you off. And
I can't think of
that's
anything. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. It's just the West Ham one, to be fair.
Yeah, no, that's fine, man. In terms of like England itself, holistically, like the performance, what are your thoughts on it?
I don't be watching those matches.
You didn't watch any of the games?
Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. So back in the day, I used to watch religiously.
Yeah.
I feel like it got boring, man. I'm not gonna lie. All of these like qualifiers, all these things, it's just a tick box exercise. Move on
Until the real thing.
Yeah, onto the real thing. Probably towards the end of the year, I will start taking a bit more focus. But at the moment, I'm just like, we're gonna win these games. Tick it, move on. I'm not gonna lie, that's just me personally.
Yeah, just on one point though. I know Gary Neville was speaking of this. I might as well just bring up on here in terms of like Foden, playing Foden in the win. Gary Neville was saying he was asking that he needs to get the best of Foden. We need to bring him inside. Would you consider the possibility of playing Jude, Rice, and Foden in the middle? Would that be what's you guys' first choice midfielders for England? The three midfielders. What would be your first choice?
I think now Jude has pretty much said that I want to be behind the striker, and his performances have said there's no reason why I shouldn't be. But when we were playing in the Euros, the very first game, I expected Foden to be behind the striker as a number 10 and for Jude to drop back, because I just thought that midfield three, there's nothing that's going to beat it. Especially Foden's just come off the seasons he's had. Jude is Jude. And I'll drop Jude back because I believe I can give you that responsibility. I think you're just an all-round great player. And with Declan, I just thought that midfield three, no one's going to beat us. But then obviously it didn't work out like that. They didn't play that position, which it confused me. I feel as if we played some players not in their best positions. But now there's like, actually, why should I move Jude? Foden's not shown me the levels that he could. So now there's an argument that actually, no, we shouldn't accommodate him. But if you had asked me beginning of the Euros, I would have said, yeah, I expected that that three in the middle.
What's your three, Ham?
Yeah, my three has always been the same.
What's that?
Jude, Deck, and Phil. That should always be the best three. It's the best, like, player for player, profile for profile, talent for talent. All three of them do everything you want in those midfield positions in terms of what you want them to do. Whether they work as a three, for me, one of my favorite words in football is rhythm, and you have to get them to play 90 minutes after 90 minutes. And if it don't work for 3-4 games, then you can say I've tried it for 3-4 games and it don't work. Where England, like they just said, we're going to win all the fucking games anyway. So I personally think that's the midfield three that should have been playing before, should be playing now, should be moving forward, because definitely, and I don't subscribe to that whole, we got to move Jude back or this, that, and Jude's a fucking central midfield player, and he's 22 or 23 or something. You can go box to box.
He knows what to do.
There's nothing fucking wrong with that, and he doesn't have to die on the hill that I have to play behind the striker.
Yeah.
Because you can die on that hill if we don't have a Phil Foden. You've got a Phil Foden who's a fucking magician.
And that's where my issue was as well. When I was like, actually, if we know Foden can play the number 10 and Jude is Jude, you can make it work. But then they chose not to.
And if we're being deadly honest, it's only recently that whole 6, 8, 10 stuff. So cool, let's play that 6, 8, 10. So the best 6 is Deck in terms of intercepting and whatnot. He's not the best on the pivot and getting playing. In terms of interceptions, he's the best 6. The best 8, 8 for me is someone that can do offensively and defensively. Now he's not because the best 8 in the world for me is Pedri and Vitinho. Those are the best 2 number 8s for me. But they're more controllers. So they control the game and whatnot. But in terms of like an 8 that can go box to box and get it and give it an engine, Jude Bellingham is that all day long. That's his game. That's his game when he's at Dortmund. That's what got him his move. Real Madrid didn't buy Jude because, oh my God, what a number 10. They bought him because they thought, fucking midfield, great midfielder. And then they fit him into the team that they've got. And then Jude just started banging bare goals. And now it's just like, okay, he's got to play there. And then like I said, perfect last point. Off the back of the season that Phil had when KDB was pretty much injured in and out of the team, and they pretty much, okay, you got to take the keys for this. Offensively, everything that we do has got to pretty much go through you, and then Haaland will finish it. And I thought, like every game, I thought Phil was coming off the pitch, man of the match, man of the match, man of the match, man of the match. So now we're going to say, okay, if we're not going to play him centrally, then really and truly, the next best position we should play him is right wing. So he can come in on his left foot, and he's got the sweetest left foot. But he can't do that because Saka's got locked down that position. So let's go play him left wing, where he's not going to beat no one down the side outside because that's not his game. And then when he cuts in, he's going to cut in onto his right foot. Yeah. So and everything looks different to him that way.
We've got better players on the left. You get me? So it's
So I personally, if he's not going to get him into the 10, then I don't think he can get him into the team.
Yeah. No, I agree. So that's the point I was going to make. That will be my first three because I feel like Jude is more than just a number 10. Jude, like the way
I didn't even look at Jude as a number 10.
It was Roma Jude. That's what, and I was really disappointed at Southgate.
I don't look at him as like that. Even when he plays for Real Madrid, he don't play like a number 10. Jude is everywhere.
He's everywhere.
When he plays for Real Madrid. Sometimes he ends up in the left wing position when he plays for Real Madrid because Real Madrid sometimes play that 4-4-2 formation. So yeah, I don't take Jude as a number 10. So I would definitely play Phil in the middle. And with the way Tuchel plays, and I think he said it himself, he likes to isolate his wingers, and he wants them to be aggressive so they can.
And they gotta go 1-on-1
all the time. You're not gonna get Phil doing that. Phil can't do that. Let's just be honest. There's no point. So as you said, if you can't fit him in the middle of the park, then don't play him because if that's what you're asking from him, and Thomas should know that Phil's not gonna be a player. He's not gonna be a player, and that's probably why he brought Rashford back in because you know Rashford can be a player and there's no one better to be a player than Saka. If Saka's fit, then Phil probably wouldn't be playing then if that's the case. No. Because no one better we don't have at the moment in England, Saka's probably the best English player at the moment.
Him or H. Him and Jude are the best.
And Jude, them three are like who you really want to build a team around. I'm guessing if they're fit, that all three of them starts up all time.
And we saw it in the Euros. They all had big moments in the Euros.
Yeah. So
all three of them.
So yeah, look, I'll definitely play him in the middle. If not, the only person I will mind taking out for then will be Adam Wharton. That's it really.
But I think was you gonna make another point?
No, that's it.
But I do think the fact that Tuchel's first games he didn't start him in there. I know he ended up there, came off the bench and whatnot. Lets us kind of lean into the fact that I don't think Thomas is going to play him in there. I think Thomas' plans is to find a partner for Deck. Yeah. So whether that was Curtis Jones, whether it's Morgan Rogers in there, maybe he will get Adam into the next squad. But I think his whole thing is to find someone else that's going to make up the midfield three. I think Jude and Deck are set. We know that. I think for him it's just to find who the third one is.
In the second game he played Morgan. If you're playing Morgan, you can't tell me you can't play Phil. If you're going to play Morgan in there with Rice and Jude, you can't tell me you can't play Thingy in there as well. So if you're not playing Morgan, fair enough. If you're playing the Jones, playing the double pivot, Adam Wharton, wherever it is, fair enough. But if you're playing Morgan, then you can play Phil. Yeah. Like I can understand if you're saying I don't want to play him at the moment because he's not in the best of form. It is what it is. Like hopefully when he gets back into form, you can utilize him a bit more. But if you're going to use Morgan, Jude, and Rice in the same game, you sure they can use?
I thought the same way. To be fair,
yeah. But yeah, look, the next obviously they don't play again until the season's over, so we'll see whether anything changes.
Just friendlies, isn't it?
Yeah, I think is it friendlies?
Yeah, we got friendlies. You see that tournament that came out?
Ghana.
Has it locked in? Is it official?
I'm not sure if it's official yet.
Was it Ghana, Nigeria, Jamaica?
It should definitely go though.
The racists will be angry.
I wonder. We should go. Maybe you should do even do a vlog or something. Like that, when
I'm going to that game, I'm going to wear a Jamaican kit, Ghanaian kit. I'm going to wear a Nigerian kit.
Yeah. Cool. Let's just move on then to this week's football. We had midweek football. Start off with United. What was I doing on Wednesday? Because I didn't watch the game.
This is Forest away, isn't it?
Yeah, Forest away.
Yeah.
I went to the Usher concert. Sorry, Tuesday. I didn't watch the game. So I know coming out that game, I just tend to listen to a lot of the reports from the fans. No one really complained about the performance, but I realized a lot of them was getting Garnacho. But obviously, bear in mind, I didn't watch the game. I didn't really know the reason why, whatever. So I was but my Tokes called me about the game as well, and then I thought, you know what? Let me just watch the highlight. Let me see. Then I watched the highlights, and the only chance that I saw Forest had was just a goal. Although I don't think how they allow him to score the goal. Why none of them couldn't think to just bring him down? It doesn't make sense. But anyway, let's move on from that. But apart from that, we had majority of the ball. We had the chances. Maybe Forest thought, oh, you know what, they're never going to score anyway. So what's the point? Let's just sit back and see what they can do. But I think I've said it a few weeks ago, and probably parts of it even today's. To be fair, today's game, his game wasn't that bad. But I just feel like he plays a lot for himself. Garnacho, watching the highlights, I didn't watch the full game. You could just feel he was playing by himself. There's time when he can pass, like he wants to cut in and shoot. It was just playing for himself, man. And he was just poor to see. And it's just funny, like how like things change. These are the fans that were shouting that we shouldn't sell him. Now, same fans are now crying out about his performances, but his performances hasn't changed. Nothing has changed. So, but that anyway, that was the midweek game. I wasn't upset about that really. Like I knew, to be honest, I know our league is done anyway. Let's just get through the games and see if we can get better. And today's game, pretty much both teams didn't really want to. If anyone did try to, I thought we had a better chances against City today. I thought Bruno, he deserved man of the match. I think a lot of the times he get criticised for being too erratic. I thought his performance today, one of the first time I used controlled to describe how he played today. It was quite controlled. He didn't rush anything. He was dictating a lot of the play when he get the opportunity to do so. But it just never looked like he was going to score. Unless if it's like Bruno behind a shot, I just didn't like whoever it was. Just never looked like he was going to score. It was always going to be, oh yes, they're going to shoot. The keeper will save, or they'll slip before it's time to shoot. It was just one of those. And I think me and Ade was talking earlier in the game where the passes would just misplacing passes.
I'd like to know how many incomplete passes we had.
Yeah, it was just misplacing passes everywhere. But both teams didn't really I thought we probably weren't trying to go for it a bit more towards the end of the game. I thought Man City was satisfied with the draw, which is unlike Man City. They didn't really go for the game. I can't even recall, apart from that shot that Marish had and the free kick, they didn't really work on none at all. And to be fair, it's not as if we worked.
I don't remember Edison. Edison made a good save from
there was that. Xerxes,
yes.
Yeah, I don't think people, but I think I just thought we looked a bit more threatening than them. So yeah, that was it. Those are two games really. But for me, let's just move on from it. I'm sure a lot of the fans understand that the season's done anyway. Let's just plan for next season. The key focus now is Europa League. I'm not sure if you want to discuss anything else in regards to those two games, Ade.
I think Nottingham Forest won. So obviously I had my 31st of March deadline, so I was shattered by that day. So literally going to bed.
Who told you to leave work till last minute?
I wish I could leave it to last minute. It just goes to last minute. But so I'm watching the United game in bed, and I'm like, so we concede quickly. It was quick. We didn't even say.
The flash score came up in 6 minutes.
Let's not even sit down and just quick. Okay, cool. So now we're behind and we don't score goals, so it's a problem. But I can't lie. That first half, we played all right football. We popped the ball. We popped the ball around better than I've seen us pop the ball around. Passes were connecting. Everything was quite cool. Half time I fell asleep. I was just like, I'm tired. I'm gonna fall asleep. But overall, in terms of what I saw in the first half and what I saw of the highlights of the second half, it wasn't a bad game. We were creating stuff. But ultimately, we're not an awesome team this season. And Nottingham Forest are good at what they're doing. Right? So once they score that early goal, for a team that doesn't score much, that's on -4 goal difference. It was always going to be a struggle. And obviously, it's just telling that Maguire comes on with how many minutes and he has more shots on target than our strikers. So it just further highlights the issues that we have. And then today's game, on one hand, it wasn't like the games of old where Man City would just absolutely molest us. But then that's not saying that we were any better. It just shows Man City have dropped off a bit. And we're talking about the passing. Some of the passes were so bad. And I do feel as if we were more of a threat. Obviously, most of that wasn't like passages of play. It was just quick transitions, counter-attacks. But then even then, we didn't really... The final pass wasn't laid off well. Like Garnacho's pass to Fernandes, in my head, I'm like, this pass has to be a pass for
Yeah,
Fernandes
so
to shoot.
underhit.
It has to be like the
underhit.
Europa League goal against our last game, Sociedad. How you pass it so you can shoot. All the passes were so bad. Even Dogu, I think it's maybe because I have him on fantasy, but I was focusing on his play, and I was just like, you're doing a lot of running, but
there was no quality.
there's no quality. It was really bad.
Because his output was like his energy.
His energy's there, but the output was it was, and I think it was really telling today. The output was bad in terms of, I think there was one ball that he gave that I thought, that could have been a decent ball, but I think Diaz just put himself on the ball as it went across goal. But everything else was really
even
bad.
the one in the first minute or so, I thought he could have given that ball earlier before he got fouled. I thought he could have given who was it that was running in? I'm not sure who it was, but I thought he could have crossed it in a bit earlier. Its decision making is just so shocking, and it's not getting. This is his second full season, I believe, right? Did he have a full season last season?
Or Garnacho?
Did he come in?
You're talking about Dorgo here, right?
Oh no,
You're talking about Garnacho.
Oh, you mean
I was talking about, but
you guys
Garnacho
talking
is
about
Dorgo. Yeah, we're talking about Dorgo.
I agree.
But Garnacho, it's no different. His decision making is poor, and I don't think that's going to change. He is playing like somebody that's a clutch player that knows he scores every other shot. That's what he's playing, but he isn't that player. And he just needs to calm himself down and realize.
To be from the outside looking, he hasn't earned the right.
He hasn't earned the right. But in his head,
he hasn't earned the right to take a shot every second shot,
And that's where the issue is. So he's playing like that, and he's playing for himself. But actually, you're doing nonsense, bro. And I don't know how he's not seeing that, if he's not taking the time to reflect and say, actually, am I doing what I'm meant to do? Am I making the right decision? Clearly not. So it's one of those things. But as I said, our Premier League season's over, so we just focus on the Europa. Focus on the Europa.
If someone else was fit, I don't think he plays. Garnacho.
If we had options.
If he had other options, I don't think we have any stylistically a player like him, like Ahmad, or if Rashford was still there, I don't think he plays at the moment. I don't think we really have much options on the bench. So he gets into the squad. He does a lot of nonsense, and I think there was one time, I can't remember, was it towards the end of the game, he was moaning about not getting the ball. Bro, he's becoming frustrating, man. That 40 million that they was offering us looks like a bargain.
It looks like a lot.
Looking back at it, but look, it's still a young player anyway. That's what we can say. We you're just hoping that he gets better, but. Yeah,
that's the only thing. That's the only thing that's on his side is the fact that age, and with age and more experience and more time on the training pitch, more time with the coach. Hopefully, his decision making will get better. They'll show him stuff where your output, your numbers will look better if when you're here, you're cutting it back. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you're playing with your teammates more. The more trust your teammates have you, they'll play you in as well. Because they trust that you're going to make the right decision. If I'm Bruno Fernandes playing with him, the first one, as you guys were talking, I think he's at the age now where he can get slapped. So you see in the changing room and at the training ground. I'm slapping him if he makes the wrong decision in training, not just the match. Because we've given him the young boy, you come through United, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. But now the fans that pay and the fans that go are watching you, and they're saying, and you guys are the only ones that say this, and they're saying he looks like he's playing for himself. So you guys aren't making that up. You guys are not watching it and just think you're plucking it from thin air. You're plucking it from something. So if you guys can see it, the players can see it. And the players are the ones that can be affected more than you lot because he's not passing them the ball. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Or he's shooting when he should be squaring it. So now they got to be having stern, not little boy conversations with him. If you don't pass me the ball, I'm going to punch you up. If you shoot the next time, I'm going to slap you. Yeah. So now he's got to have in his mind that fair enough. He can still, players like him, because he's a winger, so you kind of have to give them leeway to kind of let them do their thing because that's where they excel, innit? Be creative and whatnot. But be creative with a purpose. Don't just be a maverick and you're just here and then you're just shooting every other shot. Yeah. And then instead of you to square it to our number 9, our number 9 is lacking goals anyway. Yeah. So we need to feed him. Yeah. You're not even feeding the guy. You're not drip feeding him.
Yeah. I think the key word there is purpose. You got to do things with purpose. You can't just be doing just brainlessly, just dribbling and wanting to shoot and then slipping at the pivotal moments. It's just,
and surely you know that the team winning is good for you. Like if you want your stock to rise, the team needs to be doing well, or else you're just a guy spinning around in a circle and losing games.
Yeah, he's got age on his side, but football's such a fast game. We say he's age on his side, but now he'll go from whatever age is that now to be 25.
Yeah, quick.
And he'll still be doing the same thing at 25.
And youngsters a pair like this.
Yeah.
Like that.
He'll
We're
still be
getting
doing the same
youngsters a
thing,
pair quickly.
at 25.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, look, that's United anyway. There's not much. Just before we move on to like Europa League preview, obviously the news came out this week about KDB. This is going to be his final season in the Premier League. I want to get you guys' thoughts on it because I know like some people might think it's Salah, but ever since Hazard left the Premier League, because Hazard was I know people look at Hazard numbers and they're going to start saying, his numbers are not great, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we can talk about it. But Hazard was my best player in the Premier League when Hazard was in the Premier League. Ever since Hazard left, then KDB was my best player in the Premier League after Hazard left. Some might have Salah, but mine was KDB. The point I wanted to make is more for you, Ham, because I know you love KDB. Who do you think takes over the baton? Because I'm not really going to say Salah, because Salah's getting older, so Salah can only give him 1 or 2 seasons. Who takes over that baton of like the best player of the league? That player that teams are going to fare. Like, even when KDB gets injured a lot, but even when he's coming back from injuries, teams, managers are already looking at the sideline thinking, I don't want this player on. And he can change the game with a given moment of time. Same thing with Hazard. Who takes that baton? Like, obviously, your thoughts on him obviously leaving, and who takes over the baton of I'm the best player in the league? Who do you have in mind?
No, I think taking over the baton it'll be Sacks. I think because of the respect that he's got already from a young age, and the respect he garners from the opposition manager and the opposition players and the opposition fans. So I think he's one that, because he plays in a position where he can hurt you, right wing, and we were talking about decision making about Garnacho and that. You look at Sacks and you think, bro, 9.9 times out of 10, this person's making the right decision. In terms of if you're showing him down the line, he'll go down the line because he can use his right foot now. If you show him inside, he'll go inside or use his left foot. So I think for that, I think he'll take over the mantle of when he turns up at your stadium, he can get a goal and assist without playing well as well. He's got that in his locker as well. He's almost got the Salah effect where might not play well for 70 minutes, but once I get it, it's either going to the back of your net by me or my teammate. So I think it'll be him, because when I look around the league, I think who else? Cole Palmer was kind of bubbling because every other game the brother was scoring, but he's really, really tailed off recently and whatnot. If Phil continued the way he had last season, then you would probably say, well, KDB just goes to Phil and say, well, now this is your league, you're the best player in the league. But again, Phil's not had a... So those are the only 3 names I would say, but I would say if I'm going to lean to someone, I'd say it's probably Sacks. I'd say Sacks. And I don't think Sacks is as good as Hazard and whatnot in terms of how Hazard was amazing. And I don't think it's as good as how KDB was, as big as an influence on a football game that KDB would have. But I do think once he leaves, I think Sacks will be the best thing and whatnot. Because in terms of what opposition fans will think of him. And in terms of KDB, I think, as another analyst said this, and I think he was spot on when he said, after Thierry Henry, I think he's the best foreign player to play in our league. I would argue that it's him, Thierry, and Cristiano Ronaldo. And then obviously you throw Eden in there as well. But I think that KDB for, how many seasons was he there? 10 seasons, yeah. And I'm thinking as soon as he come in, that team had Yaya and David and Korn. I think he quickly established himself as, I'm the clutch player here. Remember when they got him, he was a right winger at Wolfsburg, innit? And I think it's Pep that put him inside centrally. But even when he's playing right wing and just those, like, it's like we've seen players cross the ball before, but it's like he reinvented how to cross the ball. Like we start looking at that KDB pass as, well, you can't stop it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You can't stop it. Do you know what I'm saying? So and once a player gets a move where it's just like you can't stop it, like Arjen Robben, he's coming in left foot. We can't stop it. Do you know what I'm saying? So watching him season after season after season, game after game, and in the big games as well, when you look at your talisman, KDB still having a 7, 8, 9, 10 out performance game. He's done it to my team bare times. When we're going up against them, and who turns up, who gets the assist, who gets the goal. KDB's done it to you lot. He's done it in the games against Liverpool when they're going back and forth. And he's level, because when we talk about great play, we talk about consistency here and their ability here. And he's married the two together. Not a lot of players have come to our league and married the two together where they've been great for a long period of time. And that midfield three of him, Silva and Fernandinho, that will go down in history as one of the best that we've seen in the Premier League. and he had a big part to play with it. And City being as successful as they have, a massive part is down to Pep and everything else. But he's the guy. He's their guy. As City fans will tell you all the time, he's their guy. And I just think for us from the outside watching in as rival fans, we look at KDB and we don't look at him with no disdain, no nothing in our hearts, nothing against him, because we realise just how good of a football player you are. And if you play for our teams, we might win more trophies just by adding you. Just by adding him, not like bring everyone else, just him alone. We might do something, and it's just testament to him. So I definitely think he's definitely easily been, like, you're right, in terms of after Hazard, it's been him. And I think Kun's been amazing, and I think David Silva's amazing, but I just think for his longevity, and he goes in that conversation when we talk about best midfielders, when you talk about Patrick, Roy, Lamps, Stevie, Scholesy, KDB's right there, and he could easily tell all of them, you man stand behind me, I got this. I'm the best midfielder to play in this league.
Yeah, no, you can give, like you said, you can give an argument for him as much as you can give for the rest of them. Yeah. The only thing he goes against him is just his injury record. But apart from that, as I said, from when Hazard left, like when he comes onto the pitch, even if he's been injured for a while, if it's his first game back, he's on smoke.
I know people look at him when he's running outside. You look at him and go, oh, for fuck's sake. No, when he came on against Newcastle last season.
Yeah, last season. Yeah. And that's when...
But remember, we're going for the league against them, and that's when I went like this.
The trajectory of the season just changed straight after that, bro.
He came on, bagged the goal. Second one, boom. Assist to Oscar Bob.
Yeah. That changed straight away.
And he's got, last point, it's just like, obviously, I think Cesc probably has the best, like, disguise passes. Like, when you watch Premier League years and you look at some assist and passing, you think, wow, how the fuck did he see that, do that? I think he's at the top of that. He's at the top of that, where some of the passes just like, it wasn't on. Yeah. The pass is not on. And if the pass is on, then only you can play that pass.
Yeah. Like, it's mad because it's as if, like, the ball, when the ball leaves his feet, it's as if the ball is some sort of magnet going straight to, like, the player's head or, like, their feet, because it's just never, like, and it's like it moves through, like, players to, like, it. No,
remember the best one is the one for Leroy Sané, though.
Oh, that one
where it's across the ground and it cuts through like 5 players, and Leroy just slams it in. But I'm convinced he done what David Beckham done. I'm convinced when I was watching you guys, it was fake. That Beckham, every time he crossed the ball, was going someone's head. I honestly thought that Beckham had a tape measure and measured Andy Cole's head, Sheringham head, the White York's head, and said, okay, so this is the size of Demno's head. So when I cross it, it needs to be at this angle, this, and he went like this to the air. Okay, the wind is blowing this way, because it just don't make sense. It don't make sense how accurate it is on a consistent basis. It's all right to be accurate,
but not that
on that level of consistency.
Yeah, it's unhuman just like to be that consistent, like, because you just don't see it on any average players. Don't deliver that kind of performance or deliver that kind of cross as well. He's definitely going to be missed in the league. I do agree with you. Obviously, I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on it. I do think it will be, for me, like, the challenge is out there, innit, for any other player to take pick up the baton. But for me, I do think it will be Saka. That will be the best player in the league. I think if he can deliver you the league, the respect that he might not be getting from opposition fans, he might gain it from.
Yeah, he will do though, innit? Yeah, because the stick you'll beat him with, he hasn't won nothing.
He hasn't won anything. But for me, that's who my immediate thought will be. Like, he will be the next best player in the league, because you can see what he's done this season. His numbers are mad. You forget that he's been out for almost half of the season.
Yeah, he missed 3 months.
Yeah. So that's the player that popped to mind. Cole Palmer, his name's up there as well. Phil's name is up there. I think for Phil, he's probably in the best position, because now you can take that team as your own team. So it's entirely up to you whether you want to do it or not. I can't think of anyone else at the moment from the top of my head.
Adesboy boy.
Who?
Isak.
Oh, Isak.
Yeah. Whether he stays at Newcastle or not, he'll definitely stake a claim for it, because he'll bag 20 again next season. If he moves to Arsenal or Liverpool or something, he'll bag 25, 30.
Yeah. Then you have Isak.
And that means he would have went 21 last season. He's bagged 20 already this season. We'll go do that again next season. Depending on what he does in the Champions League, if he does play Champions League football next season. So I think he would, because he's the best. He's the best striker, isn't it? Of course, He's the best striker in the league. So then I think we could throw his name in there and say,
yeah. And then obviously Haaland is there as well, because I think Haaland's thing will be more like the volume of goals.
I think that's my issue. As much as I'm a striker,
I don't look at Haaland. I think he can be the best player in our league.
I don't. When you talk about best player, I want more than just goals. Unless you're scoring 60, 70, then I'm just like,
and that's what I'm saying.
I
With him,
respect
it would
it,
just be volumes.
It would just be volumes.
It would be more. It'd be more volumes than his overall performance. So that's the only way he gains that kind of respect. Like, is the volumes more than anything.
Because we're saying, and Tom's saying, and I'm saying, I don't know if you're agreeing with us, but we're saying that KDB has been the best player since Hazard. But Salah's been in this league, and Salah's done the numbers that he's done. But we still don't look at him and say he's a better player.
I respect Salah.
No, that's what I'm saying. So
highly.
everyone will say that. Everyone will
I say all the time.
We respect him, but we won't say he's the best.
Yeah. So
I think even when we speak about Haaland and his number of goals, I say I only respect it. The first season was because of the volume of goals. When you're talking about player, I want to see more. So,
and that's why I always lean to Isak and say he's the best striker because he offers me a bit more. And aesthetically, I like the way he looks.
It's his technique, his strike technique.
I just like the way he looks.
That technique, emphasis on keeping the ball down but hitting as hard as possible.
And I think
he whacks the hell out of that ball, you know.
As hard,
bro. He whacks the hell out. He don't look like, because you don't look big.
Yeah.
He whacks the hell out of that ball.
That technique is fierce.
Yeah, and I think it's important. Like when you mention names, it's no discredit to the other players. They're great players in their own right as well. It's no discredit, but in terms of, obviously, for me personally, what I want to see in a footballer and what I like, these are the players that does it for me. And like for me, like my favorite players like are midfielders, central midfielders, Scholes, Iniesta, Xabi Alonso, Michael Carrick. Those are my great, like all my favorite players. Zidane are always been central midfielders. So when you can see a central midfielders that you can compare to this type of players, of course it's going to be like, unless if you're Hazard, then you start doing madness. Unless if you're Saka, just say, so those are the other players that you can compete with. But if you're a central midfielder and you're doing what KDB is doing, you're always going to be one of my favorite players. It's as simple as. But yeah, who would you think Ade will?
Now Saka that came to mind immediately. Obviously there are other players, but Saka that came to mind straight away as soon as the question was asked.
Cool. Hopefully they can play together. Saka and Isak next season. Hopefully.
Is he going to Newcastle?
I can have the two best players.
Newcastle got that money. Yeah,
I can have the two best. Bro, I know you keep saying this. Yeah,
Newcastle got that money.
You keep having this conversation. The money is cool, but the player's ambition is separate to the money.
Don't worry.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying for me.
We're coming.
I'm not having no serious conversation until the season's done to see whether they get Champions League.
No, they're gonna get.
No, but if they don't get Champions League football,
it's not a question.
Then
they're getting it.
No, what do you mean? 100%.
100%.
What do you mean?
100%.
I don't understand what you're saying.
100%.
I don't understand what you're saying. So what? City, Chelsea, Forest, Villa. None of them teams.
I thank God for their lives.
None of them teams have a stake.
I thank God for their lives.
No, I don't think it's cutthroat.
I thank God for their lives.
Because they got finished fifth in it, top five, right?
Yeah.
Nah, it's not.
Let's just move on. We don't have much time. We'll come back to obviously KDB at the end of the season. We touch more on like the rest of the players that we mentioned, and if you like, for all the like the listeners as well, if you feel like there's a player that we're missing out that you think will take over as the best player, or if
no one missing out, man.
Or if you don't agree that KDB is the best player in the league, let us know as well. I'm sure maybe Liverpool fans might feel.
There'll be Salah.
And their argument will stand.
Yeah.
And there'll be argument
the numbers,
KDB ain't
so
played that
to be honest,
much.
if it's not KDB, it will be Salah for me. Those are the only two players.
That's it. Unless United fans want to say Bruno Fernandes now.
No. We're respectful.
At the Europa League, we got Lyon. What?
Ooh,
are we at home first or away?
Probably away.
What's your thoughts going into the game? And who were the players that from Lyon that you said you wanted us to watch out for?
Your son just
is it Malachi? What's his last name?
Malik Fofana.
Malik Fofana. Want to see how he gets on, and then obviously they've got the guys that have been there for a while. For them, see how it pans out. Expect us to win, but you never know. They've got some exciting players that could probably run rings around our defenders if they're not careful. Because if Elanga's doing that to them, then
you guys are away.
Yeah, then it could be risky.
Cool. Look, I do think we can beat them, but who knows really? As you said, like United's always vulnerable to at any given moment. So hopefully we can just try and get something to take to Old Trafford with us. So whether, as long as we're not losing more than 2 goals, I think if we get a draw or even if we're 1 behind, I think we've got the opportunity. I think 2 might, like Old Trafford is like the burial ground for these guys nowadays. They struggle to score goals at Old Trafford. So 1 goal or so, then it should be fine. So we'll see how we get on. Let's move on to
Good luck, guys. Good luck.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Let's move on.
I hope you get battered.
Arsenal.
I hope you do too.
You had Atlanta lost. Oh wow. Yeah. So look, you had Fulham midweek. Massive injury blow for Gabriel, but we'll touch on that when we go into like the preview of the Real Madrid game. You then had Everton yesterday. It made a lot of changes, which makes sense. Obviously, going into like into like the Champions League game. I think the most important thing is we start off with Saka being back. He got a massive ovation at the Emirates. Shows how much you guys love him. I don't think, just judging it based on that, I think if that boy ever leaves Arsenal, I don't think he plays in the Premier League. Because they will. I don't think he ever plays in the Premier League if he ever leaves Arsenal, because Arsenal fans would not take it likely if he plays with anyone else.
Yeah, just Real Madrid, yeah. Because you can't go Barcelona because Lamine Yamal's out there, so
but yeah, just we don't have much time. If you could just touch on the two games for us, and then we'll go into the Real Madrid game.
Yeah, no, the Fulham game was a pretty routine victory. To be fair, they didn't pose any threat. Nothing was really hurting us that way. The only thing that hurt us was the Gabriel injury, and as soon as he goes down, it was like the final nail in the coffin for the season to me. Definitely watching it, just kind of like, if we did have any chance against Real Madrid defensively, we had to be astute, sound, and we need our best players to play. And Gabby's been our best. Gabby's our player of the season, and he's going to win all the awards by the players, by the fans, manager. He's been brilliant. He's been our best player. So to see him go down was a massive blow. So Kivior comes on, but we kind of carried on playing the same we were playing. Good goal by Marino, and then and it looked comfortable. It was comfortable. It was comfortable first half, comfortable, and then the big moment, Sachs comes on. So it was it's like you gain something and you lose something, innit? So we lose our best player this season, but then Sachs comes on in there and it gives everyone a lift after what's happened to Gabs, and then 6-7 minutes in gets a goal, and that just lights up the stadium, innit? I was super happy for him anyway, because it just any doubts, anything in his head that I'm not too sure, like, you know what I'm saying? Just big injuries, innit? And it's his first one, innit? And he would have done all the hard work behind the scenes and whatnot, but just getting back on that green grass and getting your first goal as quick as possible. Because you want to be playing well as when you come back, but then you don't want that monkey in your back. Like, he's been back for 3 games, 4 games, 6 games, hasn't got goals, so he's got that out his way straight away, and was comfortable again. When obviously went 2-0 up, they had to make some changes, and they did. Brought on Iwobi, Rodrigo Muniz had a big chance. Muniz should have scored to make it 2-1. That would have made it a bit more scary for us.
Yeah. But
then he scores his goal, and it was a bit too late for that to do anything to us. So we looked okay, easy performance. Fulham didn't really offer much. And then Everton, first thing I see is the lineup. As soon as I see the lineup, I'm like, okay, cool. So the Premier League season is definitely done. Yeah. So all that one where you're saying over my dead body, well, he must be dead. Because I saw that lineup and I said, well, that's not a lineup that's trying to chase Liverpool. But I've already made peace that we're not going to win it anyway. I wasn't like, I wasn't upset. It was just like, cool, big game Tuesday. Even though I think the game against Real Madrid is, for me, just enjoy it, because I don't think we're going to go through either. But you see the lineup, okay, yeah, we'll give it a go. And then, but even with that lineup, we was all right. Like I said, I love the boys, innit? Just Martinelli and Tommy Ashley, the only two I don't love. I say that every week, but everyone knows I love the boys, and I thought they were all to a man was okay. Good goal, lovely goal, to be fair, actually better than good goal. Lovely goal by Trossard, and we look comfortable. They don't do nothing. No shots on target from them. My goalkeeper doesn't do nothing. We're okay. Second half starts. Referee, VAR, everyone decides to give Everton a leg up in the game and say, oh, it's a penalty. Never a penalty for me. Watched many people talk about it. I don't think it was a penalty for most people that saw it. That was their first shot on target. Good pen by NDI. And even after that, same again. There's really much. They really offer nothing. But what did we do going the other way? We bought Martinelli and Saka on at half time. Saka, no impact. Absolutely nothing on that side. Martinelli looked a bit lively because he had a good game against Fulham. That's one thing I forgot to say. That was probably his best game I've seen him have in ages. And Pickford made a couple saves. But I thought, we would have easily won the game 1-0, innit? If they didn't give them the penalty, it would have been an easy 1-0 win, and would have been 2 back-to-back wins. Lovely, good confidence builder to Real Madrid. But it was a draw. It pretty much sums up the season we've had. Everyone has bad luck with referees. I feel like we've had more than our fair share this season. I just thought that was another horrible decision. But I thought Miles was brilliant again. He won on some mad run. Don't know if you saw it. From left back, bent up like 3-4 players. and it was just showing that I'm ready. Like I can play centre mid and whatnot. And so like that game was done. We left there. The main thing was, as soon as I come out of that game, is there any more injuries? That was the first thing I checked on.
Yeah.
Is there any more injuries? Is anyone carrying anything? And the good thing that we got, that Arteta would have got, that I would have got as well, is we got to give Ben 60 minutes. So Ben can go on Tuesday, whether he starts or whatnot, but we've got to give him 60 minutes. We got to rest Timber for the game, and we already played the last 20 or half an hour. And then we was able to give Bukayo, because I think we gave Bukayo like 20-something minutes against Fulham, able to load him with another 25 now to make him play 45. Martinelli came back as well, gave him 45. So that looks okay in terms of like the minutes rotating and whatnot was okay. I think Deck played the whole game. Thomas Partey didn't play nothing. My missus was just like, but everyone's coming on. I said, leave my uncle. you see my uncle? You see my uncle that's 45? My uncle came to Liverpool just for the weekend. And my uncle had no intention of, you know that whole game. I don't think my uncle warmed up. You know, like when they send the subs, uncle was just chilling.
He knew beforehand.
Because we know as a fan base, and Tom's the only other fan outside Arsenal that loves Partey as much as we do. We know if he's excellent on his day, we are a different football team. So we need to give him whatever he needs to be fit and give us a 10 out of 10 performance on Tuesday. So that's what we hang our hat on, innit? Whoever's fit is ready to go. The big decision, me, Tom, and my brother was talking about this yesterday, is what does he do in terms of the middle of the park now? I mean, centre back. So does he go Kivior and Saliba, or does he say, Ben, you give me 60 minutes the other day, you're going to have to play an hour. Just like you did for me against Liverpool at home when I didn't have no centre-backs. You and Timber had to play centre-back. I'm going to need you to do that again. Or if you can't, then I'm going to need you to look after Vinny at right-back, because I'm going to move Timber inside. So it's up to him what he decides to do. Because I'm sure him, Albert, Carlos, they'll all talk about it and they'll say, well, Kivior looked okay against Fulham and then he looked okay against Everton, so do we just leave it and let Saliba Kivior because we're not too sure about Ben's injury and whatnot? Or do we just say, let's just go with our best actual, like what we have left, these are our best defenders and play them. And what we have left of the best defenders is Timber, Saliba, White. Then if we have to play Miles, is always going to play left back anyway. Yeah. So I think for him, I don't think he's solidified his decision. So I think he's going to spend tonight, tomorrow, training tomorrow as well to make a decision on this is the back four that I think keeps Real Madrid out or gives us the best possible chance to win. So it'll be interesting to see what he starts. I think I know what the front six is going to be. After that, I just can't wait to see the lineup to see what he does at the back. I don't feel comfortable with Jakub Kivior being isolated with Kylian Mbappe, because that's going to happen, because Mbappe's smart enough to say, I'm not going to William's side. So everything that happens, boys, we're going down that side. And he's going to play left centre back. So that's where I'm going. I want to. Whereas I feel if it's Timber in there, or I just feel more confident if them lot are in there.
If you have to pick though, who what are the four you pick?
No, that four, just minus Kivior.
So what?
Timber, White, Saliba, Miles. That's the four. And whoever decides to play centre back or right back.
Who do you say he was going to be? What the three that you recommend is going to put in front of him, man? Like
the three put in front of him will be Rice, Partey, and Odegaard.
The striker will be Saka,
and then
Martinelli.
Yeah. I think because he gave them 45. I think he's going to start both of them.
And what do you think he puts in the middle?
And then he'll put Marino up there. Yeah, just for the physicality to occupy them. But I think Trossard gave a good cameo the other day where he said, okay, cool. If it's not working, I can put Trossard as a false nine, because now I've got him back and I've got Sachs and I've got Martinelli and obviously, and we got Ethan as well.
Yeah. I think Trossard would probably cause them more of a threat.
100%. Yeah,
because they're like, the physical battle, I don't think
with Rudiger
wins that. I think they'll find it a lot more difficult with a bit of trickery with Trossard up top.
But I think what we will do, what Mikel's smart enough to do, is we won't play Marino up there as a 9, innit? So we'll move him into midfield to overload the midfield. So now we got 4 midfielders in there instead of 3. So he won't be the 3 and then he'll be that far away from them. He'll literally be this close. Him, Odegaard will literally play like that. So now we've got 4 midfielders against their 3. And it depends if Ancelotti's smart and goes Tchouameni centre back, then Tchouameni can just step in with Marino. You don't need to stay at the back with Rudiger, you know what I'm saying? So it'd be an interesting tactical battle to see.
But it was a difficult one as well, because I can imagine them just sitting back and waiting to hit you on a counter.
Yeah, easily. And they don't mind that.
Yeah,
and they got the players for that.
They got
the players for that, yeah.
So you can drop them, you can control the game right in front of them, as long as you don't have, so the best position you can hurt them in is during the wing, but when they send the ball in, who's really going to make the late runs? And I think that's where you might find it difficult. And they will just obviously try and counter. But it's going to be an interesting game anyway, so we'll see how that shapes.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
We did get a lot of like engagement as well with like that Trossard and Timber
Vinny.
Timber thing is there's a lot like people that commented on our Instagram page, everywhere really. So that will be a great battle.
Yeah, hopefully we see it, man.
I'd love to see it one on
Yeah,
one.
hopefully we see it.
I'd love to see it and see who gets the better
Yeah, hopefully we
of
see
each
it.
other. Are they thoughts? Who wins?
I think Real, just simply because Arsenal aren't at full strength. I'd have liked to have seen a full strength
100%.
Arsenal.
Yeah,
I would have loved it.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're at full strength. And just because of that, I think Real take it.
Okay, cool. Let's just round up this week's game quickly before we go into
Because they lost yesterday. They lost yesterday, innit?
yeah, they lost the
That's Valencia, and they drew 4-4 with Sociedad, innit?
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they concede goals, but then they score.
They score.
You got Palace and Brighton, the derby. What's supposed to be a derby?
M23 derby.
2-1 Palace. Palace has been on a good run of form.
Yeah, no, Glasgow.
They did this last season, really.
And this
And in the season, they went on a good run of form. So I think coming into this season, we really expected a bit more. But to be fair to them, I think they started off the season with injury. They lost Alicia.
Just two of their best players, Elisa and Anderson.
Mateta
Not easy.
went to the Olympics.
Yeah.
So it was like the start of the season was
They've had a
difficult
stop-start
for them.
season.
Yeah, and obviously the players that
And
they
Eze's
brought
been
in,
injured a big big chunk.
Then they lost Anderson last minute. The back line needed a reshuffle. So to be fair to them,
Yeah, I think he's doing a fantastic job.
yeah, he's doing a good job. If it should had any hope, it was yesterday. From 1-0 up.
You know how many league goals the Laps got now?
Was it 12?
Yeah.
Cool. Everyone's scoring goals.
Oh, your strikers. How many your strikers got?
We don't score goals.
Oh, okay.
Good bums.
West Ham, Bournemouth 2-2. Venetian grabbed himself. He's been on a good run of form.
Yeah.
since he
But
got back from injury.
Bournemouth, we was praising them, but they ain't won a game in.
They haven't won a game in a long time.
Yeah.
Since February or something.
What the fuck happened?
That's the lead for you, though.
What the fuck happened, bro?
Things
They were
change quickly.
Bro.
And that's why you have to judge the whole season, right? Because you get windows or patches of people doing.
remember they were Bobby beating everyone. They beat us, they beat Sins beating everyone.
We're talking about Champions League a few weeks ago.
Talking about the opposite, Villa has been a great run of form. They're back into Champions League contenders. I think they're only like a couple points away from City or who's fourth. City's fifth.
Yeah, Chelsea are fourth, innit?
Chelsea are fourth.
Yeah,
Only a
Chelsea
couple
are
points
fourth.
away from both of them. Really.
Yeah.
So
That Villa.
yeah, that's Villa. So interesting because Newcastle got a game in hand.
Yeah, if Newcastle win their game in hand, I think they go third.
They go third. No, third or fourth.
Third, I think, because they go to 53.
Because thingy's Forest has got
Yeah,
57
well,
points.
Forest on 57 though.
Oh, third.
Yeah.
I forgot. I even forgot Forest is there.
Yeah,
so
Forest
they go
57.
fourth.
Yeah,
Forest
yeah,
go fourth.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see
It
how.
was
tight.
2-1 though, innit?
It's
Yesterday
tight,
they beat Forest 2-1, innit?
Yeah, 2-1. Finished
but
2-1.
It's tight because every week that Forest win, I'm like, yeah, they guarantee Champions League football. Now look at the league again. I'm like, shit, this is quite.
Yeah,
quite close.
Yeah.
It's close.
From then downwards, it's close.
close.
Yeah.
Brentford, Chelsea today. Look, I think I was talking to you yesterday. Brentford ain't won a game at home in a long time. And Chelsea, what do you think his reason was behind dropping Cole Palmer?
I thought that was easy. He ain't done anything.
He played well.
Well, he rested.
He played well
a
on
few
Monday.
Yeah, I'm
games,
when I
though.
say do something, I'm saying if I'm Enzo, he's in that team to make it tick and to goal score and assist and whatnot.
Yeah.
And if he had a good assist because the
But he
good,
played well. But he was
good.
doing all of that on Monday. So
Yeah,
I'm
but I just
surprised-
think, yeah.
I don't feel
surprised
like
he's
he
done-
dropped them. I feel as if he rested players.
But for what though?
Yeah, like,
Exactly. That's what I was
I think no, I don't think.
yeah,
Because you can't say he dropped
Because I
him.
thought I can understand he had other opportunities to drop him.
Yeah, you
But
can't say he
now you're
dropped
dropping
him.
off the back of a good performance, so that's why I didn't really get this one.
Because when I saw him on the bench, I was happy. I didn't start him, so I was happy. But
yeah,
Because you got Kukurea didn't start.
yeah, Cucurella
Palmer didn't start. Jackson didn't
Colwell
start.
didn't start as well.
It's a bit. Yeah. I don't know what you're resting for.
I don't. Maybe the
What you
intensity of the game against Tottenham, he thought rest some of the players' legs or
Maybe.
something. I don't know.
played? Maybe.
But that was a boring 0-0 draw anyway, man.
Fulham beat Liverpool 3-2,
Oh yes, good game.
which is a good game.
That was a good game.
I thought Liverpool was going to snatch it towards the end. They had a few chances towards the end, could have scored.
Yeah, but Fulham were well worth their 3 goals though.
Nah, they done well. But
Yeah.
Robertson,
Yeah.
like it's criminal. You don't pass the ball across goal like that. It's just it's
But it's fine.
criminal.
He knows this. He knows next season he's getting replaced. It's fine, man. He's gonna get a medal this season. It's all right.
Spurs beat Southampton 3-1. I think is this Charles' first goal?
Yeah.
Since he
Yeah,
joined?
took a penalty. He took the
He
penalty
took
off
the
Brendan
penalty.
Johnson.
Oh, he took it off him.
Yeah, Brendan Johnson was going to on his
For the hat
for a
trick.
hat trick, innit?
Why did he take it
He
off
actually
him?
took it off.
No, I
him.
don't think he took. I just saw. You know, like when they
Oh,
the commentators talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay. Oh, yeah. I was about to say.
No, I don't know because I haven't watched none of the games this weekend.
I'm not giving you nothing.
Yeah, I've not watched none of the games this weekend.
Okay.
But I just heard that.
No,
Now
he
I was
scored.
on.
He scored against Villa.
Let's go to Villa.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I just know that Johnson would have wanted it because he's on a hat trick, innit?
yeah.
And Tell's probably like, "What Tom? I haven't scored yet, bro. Or I've scored one, so I want to score."
Yeah. I think that's this week's game anyway. Is there anything else we need to touch on that we haven't discussed already?
No, I just love Rodrigo Menezes' goal. I loved it, bro. Pulled it out of the air, moved Van Dijk out the way, slotted it, good finish. Yeah,
I wonder
loved
what
it.
is
I loved
what
it.
it is with these players that just love to perform towards the end of the season.
Loved it.
You don't see them during the season, be chopping bench all season. All of a sudden, the last few games, he's been scoring goals, and he done the same last season as well. He went a great run of form. I thought he was gonna like come into the season
And start, yeah,
and
he did,
start.
yeah.
But yeah.
Right, it's that bonus, innit, bro? That goal, but that summer holiday looking expensive. When your wife said, "Yes, so babe, this summer we're going Sancho Pay, we're going Malibu, and we're going Monaco." You're like, "Oh, let me calculate how much money this holiday is costing me.
Bang a few
I need to
goals.
get some goals."
Cool. All right. Let's play the
Quiz
and then-
time. Public announcement. So
There's no quiz.
thankfully, one of our listeners sent me a message and said we got an answer in our last quiz incorrect. So I think in the last quiz we had the quiz where you weren't meant to give the same answer.
Yeah.
And the first question was, give me a name of a football league team that ends with United. And Ham, you said Torquay.
Yep.
And I said correct.
Yep.
And that was bullshit.
Yep.
Because Torquay are not an English
That's not our
football
business,
league
though.
team.
The quiz master
So I've chalked that off.
Are you been through?
Yeah, I've chalked it off because
Okay,
they
cool.
are in the National League South.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna get my listeners to start. Don't worry.
But as it stands, for the season, Ham's on 91, Tom's on 77.
91.
91.
I'll take that.
Tom's on 77, so 14-point difference.
Okay, all right. There's still yeah.
Yeah, still,
mad like
there's
that.
still all to play for. So
Even though you and Rob cheated me.
no.
Okay, cool.
Rob just messaged me, and there was emphasis in his message. So I was like,
Rob,
okay.
Rob, talk to me man to man.
Emphasis.
You got an issue? You got my number? Hit me up.
I was like, okay.
I don't do none of that talk behind my back shit.
I was like, fair play. So let's see where we go this week. It's been a few weeks. All right, question 1. Officially, what is the highest transfer fee that United have paid for a player? Or which player had United paid the highest transfer fee for?
Oh, God. You guys have bought bare players, bro.
Yeah. Which player have United spent the highest amount of money on?
I don't know whether it's him or it's between two players anyway.
You man, I spent bare paper though, man.
Yeah. That's why I picked that particular question. for that team.
Jesus.
What is the
And
highest
it's in
transfer
recent
fee
years as
paid?
well, because obviously.
I
back in the day-
the name of the player.
Yeah, the name of the player.
Okay.
It's in recent years because you guys always broke the record back in the day, but obviously the money wasn't enough.
All right, cool. Let's move
So
on.
that's question 2. What is the highest transfer fee received? Which player has Arsenal received the highest transfer fee for? So United was how much have they spent? Arsenal is how much have they received?
You know what else
What's
we
the
don't
highest?
be? You know what else we don't be making good money
Yeah,
from players, man.
and we don't as well. I was embarrassed when I checked this list earlier.
No, we don't get.
Well,
good
yours
money.
is even worse. Believe
No,
me.
we don't get good money.
Yeah,
for our
at
players.
all,
I
at
know
all.
that. I know that, and I know the player. I know a player that garnered money for us recently, and they were just like, that might be one. I was just
So
like,
yeah, so
all
right. So that's question
right,
2.
I got 2 players in mind. I'll rub it up.
Question 3. Who was the first Nigerian player to play for Barcelona?
First Nigerian player.
Yeah.
Is there even a Nigerian player? That
Oh, there's one that comes. I think it's my man. I'm just gonna put that.
Can't think of it.
I already know of one.
Oh, there's this player that actually came up. I don't know his name.
It's got to be my man, isn't it? It's got to be.
So question 4. Where did Zlatan Ibrahimovic begin his career?
Okay, I'm gonna go.
First, what his debut?
He's the first team he played for you, effectively.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for it.
I don't think it might, unless if he plays for someone before this anyway, we'll see.
I'm gonna go for it.
All right. Question 5. Which Italian club did Mika Richards play for?
There's 2 that come to mind.
Did he play for 2 or 1?
Just played for 1.
There's 2 that come to mind, but one of them is obviously wrong.
Question 6. What team did Thomas Rosicky join Arsenal from?
My boy, I loved him to bits. Player. Imagine if I get this
That's
wrong.
question 6.
Imagine if I get this wrong.
This is wrong.
But he was like, imagine if I get this wrong. I'm more bigging him up and that.
Now I'm thinking it's not as obvious as I thought it was. Now that you said that.
Question 7. Which team has conceded the most goals in Champions League history?
Champions League.
Yeah.
Who's going to know that now? I would say be one of them small teams, but they might not appear that many times.
Yeah, it'll be teams that come in regularly.
Yeah,
don't do
because
anything.
I was thinking, I was going to say Maccabi Haifa. But they might only appear every 10 years.
Yeah. Number 7. Which team has conceded the most goals in Champions League
Who
history?
would be that, man? No, just guess, man.
Okay, question 8. Cristiano Ronaldo has scored the most Champions League goals. Who has the most assists?
Oh, good question. Most assists in the Champions League, yeah?
Yeah.
If it's not him, then who else would it be? I'm trying to think, but it's not obvious though. I don't think it will be obvious.
So,
So
question.
Ronnie's got the most goals.
Most goals.
Who's
Who has
got
the
the
most
most?
assists? So, since we've done Champions League, one shout out to Europa League.
Don't know, man.
Which player has the most Europa League appearances? So, this is from 09-10 onwards, since it became the Europa League.
Who goes into that tournament every season?
Who lives there?
Yeah, I'm just going to go off that. I'll say my man. I'm just going to go with my man. I don't even know if it is. But
Number 10, I decided to change this last minute. Who has more Premier League assists, David Silva or Christian Eriksen?
Don't know, man. I don't know.
For at least let the Manchester derby appear.
okay, so let me rub out one of these for Arsenal. It's my man, you know. I'm gonna rub out the first. I'm gonna rub out the first one. I bet it's him. But I'm gonna go with this one because I remember it.
I don't know. I'm just.
But I don't know if he's the highest though. But I remember it's pathetic though, the money.
You both done?
What if it's my man though? What if it's the
one
one we
second.
just done?
Who went for more? No,
I'm just gonna think. What if it was my man? Or we just?
yeah, I'm done. I don't.
Done, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, flip the balls, please.
I didn't answer number 3. Don't go. Let's go.
All right, so United's official Pogba.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of them, yeah.
Yeah.
What was the highest transfer fee received by Arsenal? Which player?
Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Nketiah.
It was Oxlade-Chamberlain or Balogun.
Yes.
Both of them were the same amount. 35 million. It's shambles.
Yeah, 25 million. 'Cause I knew the price was 25 million.
35
Yeah.
million, yeah. Who was the first Nigerian player to play for Barcelona?
I put Babangida.
Tom, what did you
I
put?
didn't have anyone.
Emmanuel Amunike.
Dominique. I saw him come up on Instagram the other day as well.
It's probably that's where I got it from.
Yeah, I saw
probably
him
where I
come up on
got it
Instagram the other day.
Oh, it is Malmo, isn't it?
Is it?
Which,
Yeah,
yeah,
Malmo,
which,
Malmo.
yeah, Zlatan,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
Malmo.
Yeah. Now, as soon as I saw Ham's answer,
What did you put, Ajax?
Ajax, yeah. But I knew there was a
was a
Swedish
club
club in
before,
it,
yeah,
but
Swedish
I
club
just couldn't
before.
remember. But now I saw the name because I couldn't remember the Swedish
That
club. I just
Dominique
put
one is
Ajax.
bugging me, man. I literally saw it on Instagram the other day.
Yeah, that's where I probably got it from. Which Italian club did Mika Richards play for?
Florentina.
What do you have, Tom?
Yeah, Fiorentina.
What team did Thomas Rosicky
Dortmund.
join? Dortmund.
Man.
Yeah.
Imagine if I got that one wrong.
Which team has conceded the most goals in Champions League history?
Arsenal.
I just put Real Madrid. It might be Arsenal. We used to top
It's
5.
Real Madrid.
I
Real Madrid.
It's Real Madrid.
I just said that they've been in it. Every
They've
year. They like
been
to
in
chop
it.
goals.
Basically,
trying to think, yeah.
every question, they're the answer for.
Yeah, and they
Apart
like to
from
chop
one.
goals. They like to
Apart
chop
from
goals.
one, they're the answer for almost everything. Cristiano Ronaldo has scored the most Champions League goals. Who has the most assists?
I just put Messi.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, he's got the most goals and assists. Isn't he?
Assists, yeah. Second is Di Maria. Di Maria is one behind him.
I would have put Ozil.
Yeah.
If I didn't say Messi. Yeah.
Which player has the most Europa League appearances?
I put Jesus Navas.
Yeah. I don't know Navas.
It is Mertens.
Oh, Dries, man.
Yeah.
I don't even remember him being.
Yeah, it's crazy.
For who though? What club?
Like five clubs he's played for.
What clubs though?
Did he play for Atletico at one point? No, he didn't.
No, Dries, man. I just remember
for
he's Napoli. Yeah, but
Napoli a long time.
That's it.
No, he played for other. He played for like four of them.
Swear though.
Yeah,
He didn't cross my mind once.
Yeah,
Yeah, played for like 4 clubs.
I would just think of Villarreal and Seville players.
I just thought Sevilla
Standard,
straight away. I
yeah.
just went straight away.
It's
I'm
good.
Jesus Navas.
A sensible option. Who has more Premier League assists, David Silva or Christian Eriksen?
I just want Eriksen.
I went Eriksen.
Yeah, Silva with 93. I think Eriksen had 77.
How can I disrespect David Silva like this? How can I disrespect David Silva like this, man?
Well, no good week.
So what
I'll
are the
be back.
scores? What are the
I
scores?
think I got 6.
He's got 6.
Yeah. 1, 2,
I got
3,
3.
4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. Yeah.
6 and 3.
3.
All right, listen.
How can I disrespect David Silva like that?
You did. It was big disrespect.
No, but because you put them together, I thought, this is a trick question. It's got to be Eriksen.
I thought it was.
I was like, I didn't know it's better.
I thought the numbers were going to be closer as well.
Yeah. I thought I didn't know it's better.
I had to pick one that wasn't too far. I wanted to use KDB, but I was like, that's just too easy. So I had to
How can I disrespect David Silva like that?
Yeah, man. So yeah, let us know what you guys got on the return back.
No, let us know.
Yeah, 6.
Is that it, right? I think that's it. Thanks, people. Thanks for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share this with your friends and family. Don't forget we are gonna pick a subscriber at random and giving away a PlayStation 5.
You have to subscribe first. If you don't subscribe, we ain't giving
so
nothing.
Share this with everyone to make sure you get the prize.
Or we use the money to eat burger.
I'll be out. Be back next week.